Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to LifeTalk. This is edition number 8, episode 8 already. And we want to thank you for those who tune in each and every Thursday for this program. If this is the first time you're seeing LifeTalk, let me explain to you what we do. On this program, we talk about the issues of life. We talk about our Christian faith. We talk about our careers and the callings that God has put on our life. Every episode is different because every one of my guests is different and unique to themselves. I am thrilled because I have a new friend with me, and she's joining us today from the United Kingdom, the UK, across the river. It's 6 o'clock where she's at. It's 1 o'clock where I'm at right now. And I would like to introduce you to my friend, and she goes by the name of Shaz. Shaz, how are you today?
Scared, nervous.
She's scared.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, it's all right. Thank you for taking time out to do this. I know that this is a big step for you, and we just prayed right before we went on the air, and I know this is a little scary for you, but I want you to know that I am proud of you for taking this step. Okay. Tell us something. What would you like us to know about Shaz? Who is Shaz?
I'm from the UK. I'm a mum of 2. I've just recently become a grandma for the first time. I'm currently getting back into my faith, discovering God again after having a long time away since I lost my brother. I felt abandoned, and so I've made some drastic changes in my life, moved away from home and my family, and I'm currently living with my mum and my stepdad, and things are going good at the moment. I've connected with you, and I'm getting back to it, loving Jesus, loving my Bible, and just seeking God again.
That's wonderful to hear. You and I actually connected through Twitter, right? One of the platforms that I broadcast on. And the great thing about technology is if you're in England, I'm in America, and we're able to talk live like this. This is a miracle from God. Technology can be used for a lot of nefarious things, but this is one of the blessings that we can connect Christians together around the world. And that's one of the blessings of live streaming. You had said you had fallen away or walked away from your faith for a while. What is it that caused you to do that? Did something happen in your life where you kind of turned away from God?
I lost my brother when I was a day before my 19th birthday. I was pregnant at the time with my daughter. He was 23, committed suicide, and that's haunted me ever since, and it still does today. So,
I'm sorry to hear that, and I knew that already. But
yeah,
did you get help for that, dealing with that loss?
It was hard for my mum. Nobody ever talked about it. My other brother is still in and out of mental places. I had a hard time around certain times a year, especially my birthday and his anniversary, and it's not really talking about it. I had a breakdown a couple of years ago and had some counselling to do with my PTSD and my depression. And then last year, I lost my dog, and my dog was my everything. I talked to him about everything, and I ended up running away from home. And at 48, stupid, I know, but things just got on top of me. And I woke up that I spent the night in the woods. Don't ask me why, I just walked there and ended up, didn't eat or drink, just went to sleep. And when I woke up the next morning, I didn't know what I was going to do, and I ended up walking back home, and I believe that was the Lord leading me back home so that I could get some help. And I had a different lot of counselling, which I had to wait 6 months for because of COVID and things like that. And I've only just finished that counselling in the last month. So yeah.
Did it help you, the counseling?
It did, yes. It's trying to move on, trying to talking to you was a big step. It took me a while to do calls with him on the phone, and then video call in the last few weeks of my sessions. But it's not over. I can ring them anytime. I'm still taking medication, but I want to slowly get off that.
Amen.
Yeah.
I was on medication also for anxiety and depression and all that, and I am off of it. I had to go through a detox time, but I am off of it. It was one of the best decisions I ever made. It's not fun when you're going through the detox, but once you get to the other side, you feel a lot clearer headed, and I've just put my reliance in the Lord. I wanted to ask you this when thinking about abandonment. Did you feel at some point that God just turned his back on you for whatever reason, that he just abandoned you? He just left you?
Yeah. Because my brother had gone, and he was, we were all close, but it was just him not being there anymore. And
right. Okay. I know you're a little distant from your mic. If you could speak up a little bit more, so that we could hear you a little clearer. I realize where you're positioned now, just so we can hear you. Okay. Are you a little less nervous now? Are you okay? No, I can. Okay.
Tried on national TV.
Okay. I think it's easy for us to blame God when things go wrong or our prayers aren't answered. And it's real easy for us to point a finger at God and say, God, you're not listening to me. You didn't answer my prayers. You took my brother, whatever the thing is. And we can get ourselves in a real mess when we blame God for things, when we step back and we realize that sometimes God has been there the whole time. God doesn't leave us. It's we leave God. And I know that since you're working your way back into your faith, have you found that to be true, that God was there the whole time?
Yeah, it was just his time to go. It was, we all get given a time, don't we? And when it's our time, it's our time. He calls us home, and I think I'm a lot better now in it. It still haunts us, but it is hard. But I try and look at the positives now, the bits that used to make me smile about him, not the bits that are hard.
Yeah. I can't imagine. And we'll continue to pray for your healing regarding that. I want to share this so we don't forget about this. You work on a special project, you, your mom, and your sister. Will you tell us about what it is you do? I was explaining it to Crystal what you were doing, but no one can explain it better than what you do. Tell us what you're doing.
I should have bought a little bear.
I was going to ask you, do you have a sample somewhere? Is there one that you can grab real quick?
I don't, because I'm not at my home. I'm at a friend's house.
Okay.
With our internet at home, we're having it upgraded tomorrow, so the signal's not very good. So I come to a friend's house.
I completely understand.
I'll do you a little video and send it to you later.
Okay. So there we go. Well, we can attach it.
Yeah, we knit little bears. Started off just doing plain tops and stripy tops, and then I decided to look online at themes. Like, we did a lot of superhero ones that I designed, and then what we do is we put each of them a number, and we put a tag on them. We go downtown and we hide them for the little kids and for adults to find, and it just tells them that it's a bear and they're such and such number, and if they find them and they like them, they can take them home, and that they're made with love. and that we have a little Facebook site which my sister runs. I don't have Facebook, but I go on there on my mum's account to have a look, and we just say if they find one to post a picture of the bear and its number, and yeah, and just to go on there.
What is the name of the Facebook page? So in case people want to visit.
It's Bear Hunt Hereford, Hereford, which is the town we are in, well, the city, small city. So it was Bear Hunt 2021 when we first did it, because we started it last May or June. And then we decided just to put Bear Hunt Hereford. I've been away to do some running events, and I took bears with me there and hidden them. So not all of them are hidden in Hereford. We've had people take some abroad and leave them there as well. And we've had people find them in Hereford, but then take them home across the country. So there's a lot of them about. We've hidden after this weekend, or up to this weekend, because we've got Mother's Day weekend this weekend, where we're hiding about 30 bears. We've hidden over 300 at the moment. So
wow. Do you need permission to do that, or can you just go out and just start putting bears places?
We just put them in. Obviously, we don't hide them in bags because of suffocation, and of course kids, we tend to hide them when the weather's nice. Or we did do one for St. David's Day recently. The one before that, for Valentine's Day, because people ask for themed bears all the time now that I can do the themed ones. So obviously Valentine's, they just had hearts on and things like that, and roses. But it was raining that weekend, so what we didn't want to keep them and save them for another event. We wanted to get them out there. So my sister put a post on, and we decided to go to the local supermarkets, but we'd have, so that the kids would not stay out in the rain and things and get wet. And so we decided that they could wait for us. We told them 15-20 minutes before where we were going, and we were going to have a few kids come up to the car to get a bear and take them back to their parents or whatever. And the first one we went to, we had a queue of kids waiting. We had like 10 or 12 waiting, which was it was almost like a sale at a shop. It was amazing. It was really good. But the posts on the website, I showed you a few. They are they're really nice to see. It's something that we enjoy doing, and we've got loads and loads of wool, but we do like to, each of them are different. Not one out of the over 300 are exactly the same. They're all unique.
And that is, I think it's a wonderful ministry. It's not like I can come to Hereford and walk through your local park and find one behind a rock, because he would be out in the elements. So you have to be very careful in what you do. Tell us about, you said you live in Hereford, England. Tell us about what's life like there. Tell us about it.
It's okay. We're pretty close. We're about 15 miles from the Welsh border. We are known for obviously Hereford cattle, cider, Woolmer's cider. We've got the Hereford, we've got a factory here, so we're known for the cider like Woolmer's and Scrumpy and things like that. So yeah, we've got a local, but yes,
I've heard that.
I don't drink, but
what is, I've heard the word. What is Scrumpy? Is it a beer? Is it alcohol of some kind?
No, it's all like cider.
Oh, okay.
Hereford's known. If you have a look online, Bulmer's cider in Hereford, big thing.
Okay.
But yeah, well, it's okay here. It's a pretty small city. But yeah, it's not obviously not way as big as London and places like that. We're quite close to the countryside, so there's a lot of country walks, and we're on the outskirts of the city. So
How
yeah,
far from London are you?
about 4 hours drive.
Or out to the south?
Yeah, where London is sort of like to the southeast of the UK, isn't it? And we're to the west of the UK. You've got Wales. We're literally right close to there. So
Okay.
about 15 miles, about 15-20 minutes drive from the Welsh border.
You get over to Wales a lot?
I do a lot of my running races in Wales because the countryside and the Welsh coast. A lot of my running races are there. So
That's a good segue, because I know you're a runner and I know you've been in training. Have you always been interested in running? Is that kind of like more than just an exercise? It's really almost a lifestyle for you?
Running helped a lot with my sort of like being alone and being in my own space and just reflecting on the loss of my brother and things like that. It's my time where I can get to be alone, and now I have my Bible app in my ear, so I can listen to that while I'm running.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I've never been a runner really. It's just something that gives me that freedom, and just something other than walking, because I like walking. I walk a lot with Mum. So, I mean, she's in her 70s. It keeps her active. And
I have to say this. I love walking, and I walk every day if I can, weather permitting. I do not run. I only run if it's an absolute emergency. Okay. I don't understand it. And you know what? I'll share this too. Many years ago, there was a fellow that started the running craze. You probably know who he is. I think his name was Jim Fix, I believe. And he wrote a book on running and jogging and all of that. And I seem to recall not long after he got really popular and all that, he died from a heart attack from running.
Yeah.
And that scared me enough to say, okay, running's not for me. I'll keep walking. I mean, I don't know.
I'm more of a jogger. I do half marathons, but I'm not like the hour and a half. I'm like a 3 hour, 2.5 to 3 hours. I'm a little 4'11", size 3 feet, tiny little hobbit running around.
A little hobbit.
Yeah.
So
I just get in my own zone, and yeah.
Are you training for a marathon?
Yeah, my first one. I got a half marathon first, which I've done 2 of this previous one. That's in Swansea in June. I went in the London ballot for this year, but didn't get it again. So I have signed up for Newport, Wales in October. I wanted a marathon by the time I was 50. So, and I'm 50 in November. So yeah, I'm booked in, ready to go.
Good for you. Good for you. I can't imagine the amount of discipline it takes to be able to run that kind of a distance. Special diet.
It'll be run and walk. It won't be fully run.
Oh, okay. Okay.
As long as I can get there, as long as I can finish, then I'll be happy.
Yeah.
That's me.
I know that you are a new grandma.
I know.
Tell us about how's your grandchild doing, and your daughter?
She's doing all right. Yeah. She's coping really well. Better than I would have. Yeah, she's doing well. I showed you photos, didn't I?
Does she live close to you where you can see your daughter and grandchild a lot?
She doesn't live that far away. She lives closer to where I used to live, which is about 10-15 minutes from here. But yeah, she just bonding at the moment, so they're spending time together as a family just to
Okay,
get the bonding done, and then
that's nice.
but yeah, plenty of photos. And
New life, always
yeah,
amazing. God just keeps
and she looks
allowing.
exactly like her as well, so which is nice.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. I think you've calmed down, Shaz. You look a lot.
I'm all right now.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
all
right.
now.
I told you it would be all right. I just say it's two pals
It's the
talking.
talking, isn't it? It's really bad.
Yeah. So let's talk about faith. It's real easy when things aren't going well for us to lose our faith. And we were talking about abandonment early on, but you recently have returned to the Lord.
Yeah.
What is it that brought you back to the Lord? Was it the Holy Spirit kind of calling on you? What was it that now you are zeroed in on God again?
I think when I had that time away from home, when I ran away, when everything just got on top of me, I think they brought me back. When I come back the next morning, I could have gone anywhere, but I ended up back on my own doorstep. I think that was my wake-up call, really. I think that was me sort of like getting back to him. It was, I'd been away for too long, and I think I put all my blame on him after losing my brother, and it wasn't right. I was thinking of things this world and not concentrating on God, who does everything right. And yeah, I needed to focus on him, and I think he brought me back to that purpose and to start our little teddy bear business sort of thing. Just to, yeah.
Did you grow up in a spiritual family? Did you have a religious upbringing?
No. But I did sing in the church choir when I was younger, and it was sort of like, and that was, I enjoyed that a lot. And yeah, and then I got led astray by, you tend to follow people that have the same beliefs, but I was led in the wrong direction, and then I ended up making a mistake, not a mistake really, but I ended up getting pregnant and then losing my brother, and then it all spiraled out of control. So it was, I needed to get back, and I think
I'm glad you corrected that. It wasn't a mistake, it was a choice. It was a choice.
Yeah.
And
yes.
believe me, I've made some horrendous
It wasn't.
choices.
Yes. Yeah. Not a mistake as in the fact that, but a choice that, you know what I mean.
Yes, blessings can come out of the worst choices we make. You know, we've been looking at that on Wednesday night. Last night we were looking at the line of Cain and all of those blessings that came out of his line, even though there was an ungodly line, all of these things, music and cattle and all these wonderful things came out of it. God can take the mistakes we make and turn them into good. What we have to learn is to learn from our mistakes and stop making them. And stop making the same decisions, because we wind up getting caught up in this vicious cycle that never ends. At some point, we just have to surrender it to God and say, God, just take over my life. Right? God, me. So when you woke up that morning and you were laying in the park, and it was the Holy Spirit, I believe, just kind of leading you back home, and that was his way of getting you started back on your track back to him. He had to get you somewhere. He got your attention when you were laying out there in the woods. That is a very powerful testimony. Now, when exactly, how long ago was that to right now? How long are we talking from the night you woke up in the woods to right now?
That was July last year.
July of 21. So
No.
we're not even talking a year yet.
No. I've been, no, it was July 20, sorry, not 21.
July
July
20.
20,
Okay.
I had to wait. I ended up going to hospital when I went home. I had the police there, and then that, obviously because they were out searching for me, and posts online and things like that. And I went to the hospital. I didn't want to go, but I went there, and then I spoke to some counsellors there, and then they kept me there for a while. I went back home in the evening, and then had to wait then a few months for my therapy to start because of COVID, and ended up waiting. They said it would be about 3 month wait, ended up having to wait 6 months. So yeah. And yeah, that's all done now. My therapy's done, but it's not over. I can go back anytime. I can phone them anytime, and
it's not a bad idea to keep in touch with them, and just especially even just to show them and let them see the progress that you've made.
Yeah.
That you're turning your life around, because I know right now you're going through some serious life changes right now. Changes that I've also been through too. And you need a lot of faith and a lot of strength to get through those changes. And
that's going through all right, actually, because it was something that we both decided it was the best thing to do, and there's no problems with it. It's all going fine.
We praise God for that, because it could be very antagonistic, and you could have all kinds of extra headaches. So we do praise God that at least it's moving along, and you're getting into the next part of your life. I want to say, and I don't know how many of our church members may be watching us right now or at some later point, but you tune into our services on Sundays.
I do.
And
Wednesday.
and on Wednesdays. And I know you watch my YouTube channel and so on. And it never ceases to amaze me where God can connect people in this world.
Yeah.
And so we're very thankful for you over there in the UK, that we're able to minister to you. So we appreciate your prayers, and we appreciate your support and viewing, and we just love you over there in the UK. Now, I know that also as part of your recovery, as far as that you are working up into visiting a local church.
Yeah.
That's something that you would like to do. How close do you feel you're ready for that sometime soon? Do you have a timeline in mind?
I think I told you April, and April is still my target. So yeah, definitely. Couple of weeks and I'll be there.
Okay. Are there a lot of churches in where you live, the area?
There's a few different ones. There's like the traditional churches, but then again there's like the new age ones, and sort of like there's a lot of different ones. I used to sing in the church choir. That's actually just down this road, which is a traditional church. So I'm open to exploring different ones, just to see, like you said, the advice you give me, it's just to look into them all and see.
Yes, you definitely
feel comfortable with.
You want to definitely, it's a good thing when you're visiting, always check their doctrines and all that, meet the pastors or the leaders of the church, if when you can, and just let the Holy Spirit be your discerner as to where you may go. And so of course we're praying for that. We hope you'll keep watching us and being part of our church family.
I told you I will. Yeah.
But we definitely want you to find a local congregation. It's important to be plugged into a local fellowship if at all possible. That is certainly a biblical thing. Not everyone finds a church, and quite honestly, in some cases, it's very difficult to find a faithful, Bible-believing, Bible-preaching, Christ-centered church. It is difficult. But that is my prayer for you. It's our prayer for you that you will find something over there. In the meantime, we can minister to you. We're humbled to do so.
Yeah, but then I've got to then, because of obviously watching yours, it's quite hard now to. I know from watching yours and learning so much from what you and Crystal preach. It's sort of like finding somebody as good as, if not, sort of like that teachers the same. You don't want, you said lots of them can be quite false, and
I understand I understand exactly what you're saying.
yeah.
There are certain preachers and Bible teachers that I hold in very high esteem that I've learned from. But there was a number of them along the way over the years that I got caught up in, only to realize through my own studies, wait a minute, they're not teaching truth and they're not preaching truth, and you need to just be very discerning. To me, the more you know the Bible and the basic teachings of the Bible, the easier you can see when someone is maybe not as accurate. And it's not those that maybe don't know any better. Maybe they're teaching to the best of their ability and they just don't know any better.
Yeah.
But there's others that just come flat out and just tell you things that just are not true. And if you have even the basic Bible knowledge, you can pretty much tell. So that's where the Holy Spirit comes in. That's where Bible knowledge comes in at. But I'm convinced you will find someone there. I'll be very curious to know where it is that you land. And when you tell me all about, hey, Pastor preached this, or we're learning about this, and maybe even their live stream, so I can see what it is they're doing.
Yeah,
that would be good.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get back to the bears a bit. Are they just bears that you make, or do you make other animals as well? Or are you branching out, or is it just bears?
They're just little teddy bears. It's an easy pattern to do. Me and Mum can probably knit one in a day, and then obviously I normally, because it's all knitted in one piece, I do the feet and the trousers and the jumper because I do the design on there, and then Mum does the head, the back of the jumper and the legs. She finishes them off because the designing and that can take a lot of time. Putting a pattern into it's only a small bear, so looking at patterns online that fit into it. Like obviously the Mother's Day one, I've just got Mum and a heart and some flowers, all on designs of the jumpers. But my sister has a thing about gonks. If you've ever seen them, it's like a teddy, but it's got a big nose. It doesn't have eyes. So my sister is absolutely mad on gonks. So every so often I've been knitting my sister a gonk in themes as well. She's had a Christmas gonk. I just knitted her an Easter gonk with bunny ears and little bunny shoes on. So that my sister can have them. So it's something me and Mum do in the evenings. My stepdad's he's 90 this year, so he watches different things than what Mum does. Me and Mum in the evening, we normally watching horror movies. Mum likes a good horror, so we tend to be in the dining room, and my stepdad will be in the front room. So it's spending time with Mum, really, giving her that.
Did I hear you right? Did you say your mom likes horror movies?
Yeah. My mum loves a good horror. So yes, Amazon Prime on TV. I think we've watched virtually them all.
Wow.
So mum loves horrors. Yeah.
I don't like being scared that much. Life is scary enough to live without watching a horror.
I know. But my stepdad will watch the rugby, or he'll watch football, or he'll watch crime shows and things like that. But me and Mum likes a good horror, so in the evenings while we're knitting, we'll have a horror movie on. So,
Now, when you say football, obviously us in America, we know that it's soccer. But
yeah,
and I never understood the name soccer because it really is football.
Yeah.
You use your foot to kick this thing around and kick goals and all of that. But obviously, over here we have another sport called football. And for the
Yeah.
most part, you don't use your feet. You run with the ball. So I never understood. I never understood those terminologies. I'm not a big
yeah.
sports person. I mean, I like auto racing, and that pretty much explains it. You race in autos. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Baseball, you run around the bases. But soccer is actually I mean, I guess you would be attracted to that because being a runner and being athletic.
I'm not. I will watch. I mean, I used to go and watch our local team. I don't as much now. But I watched. I like Formula One. I like rally cars. We used to go and watch Speedway a lot. Speedway, on the bikes, no brakes, 4 laps around the track. Like Speedway, I can watch that all the time.
Wow.
But
Okay.
yeah, I like sport. I like the Olympics. I like the Winter Olympics. It's not just running. I would, if obviously I've never been abroad. I don't have a passport. I've never had a passport. But
Oh,
I've been in 3 planes and I've jumped out of 3 planes. So I'm quite a daredevil.
okay. Now, it wasn't all that long ago, a number of years ago, I overcame my fear of heights. I had a terrible fear of heights. I couldn't go up in tall buildings. I couldn't look out over a ledge. It just was horrifying to me. I was able to overcome that by the grace of God. But I cannot imagine. I've been up in airplanes too, and I absolutely love flying, love it. But I cannot imagine jumping out of one. I mean, what? Tell me, I mean, what? I'm not, you got to explain, what is the thrill with jumping out of an airplane and hoping your parachute opens?
They've all been tandem. I've not jumped on my own.
Okay.
But I've done a lot of, before I did skydives, I did bungee jumps. So I've done a few bungee jumps in my time, probably about 5. But I like the idea of going up. I did my first skydive with my daughter. She did one. And we did that one over Stonehenge. And then the second one we did that in Swansea, Wales, and I did that with my sister, and that was on my dad's birthday, and my dad is up there somewhere. And when we did that one, it was a cloudy day, and the plane actually went through the cloud, which was quite nice. It was almost like we were going up to see Dad in a way. And when we come down, the cameraman, because you have a camera, you can have a video, and the cameraman will follow you, and you have a video. And when I jumped down, he was actually underneath me with his back to the ground, and he made a hole through the cloud, and then we went through that hole. So it's nice. You get to see, because I've never actually been in a proper plane before with seats. You don't get to see, if you've never been in a plane, you don't get to see the landscape and things from above. Whereas when you're skydiving and when you're free falling, and even when the parachute comes out, you're there, you can see everywhere. And I quite like that feeling. It's not good for my stomach, but it's nice to see the surrounding area.
You said you bungee jumped. Now, if I remember what a bungee jump is, you basically are tied to this long elastic band, right? And you just kind of drop off the side and you bounce up and down on this elastic. Are you crazy? I can't imagine. I can't imagine doing that. But
my first one, I did it for charity. It was a police charity years ago, and it was in a pub car park not far from here, and it was right next to a bridge, a little humpback bridge, and I've still got the video. And when I jumped, a friend took the video, and you could actually hear, as I jumped, you could hear cars colliding with each other on the bridge because they were watching me jump. And it was like a 3 or 4 car pile up on this bridge right next to where I jumped. But yeah,
Oops.
it's a good experience. I like it a lot.
A 4-car pileup watching you do this.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I pray no one was seriously hurt. Oh,
No, they weren't going fast over there. Hereford traffic can be horrendous, so they were just sort of like, I think just at the time when I jumped, you hear 2 lots of screeching and then you hear a smash. So on my video.
wow.
So, yeah, it's good.
Well, I'm glad you have found some things to add some thrills to your life. Jumping out of planes. Oh my! I've always wanted to go to England. I've never gotten there yet, and Lord willing, Crystal and I will get there one day. I will say this, and we've kind of put it out there already, that next year we plan to go to Ireland.
Ireland, yeah.
Yes, where my ancestors come from. That we want to do that for our 10th wedding anniversary. And we want
your name's very Irish, isn't it?
Yes, we want to renew our vows over there. So that if everything is okay with COVID and the pandemic is down enough where countries are open and we're able to travel that way, we would love to go and do that. I wonder what it would be like to just kind of sneak over to England too while we're there in Ireland. I don't know. Here's my ideal trip, is what I've always wanted to do. I wanted to take a 6-week trip. I wanted to get on a cruise boat from like New York City and go over to England or London, wherever it would dock. Spend a week in England, a week in Wales, a week in Scotland, a week in Ireland, and then take a week and sail back and have a 6-week vacation. That is my ultimate vacation. Whether the Lord will ever let me have that, I don't know, but I would love to come and visit your country.
Yeah. London's I've been to London a few times. My son likes Arsenal football, obviously, in London. My daughter likes Tottenham, again, in London. So each time we went there, we've done a few stadium tours. When we lost our dad, my sister and my dad was a big Liverpool fan. I've actually got a tattoo on the side of my stomach with the Liverpool liver bird with my dad's ashes in it. So I've got him here.
Wow.
And on the other side of my belly, I've got a portrait. I've got a portrait of my brother who I lost. So I've got my brother the one side and my dad the other. So I don't have my brother's ashes, but I have my dad's. So yeah. So we did Liverpool, we did Anfield, and we took his ashes there, and the Mersey. It's really good there because they do a Mersey ferry tour, and you go on a little ferry, and they take you up and down the Mersey. And they'd actually, when we went there, because we had my dad's ashes, my sister had spoke to them, and they moved away from the dock. They got away from the side, and then they stopped the engine, and they let us go to the back, and so we could put our flowers over, put the ashes over, and they give us all the time we needed. And then when we were ready to move on, they moved the boat again. So we had a nice little service there. We put a few in Anfield in the ground so that he could be there as well, and by the gates. So yeah, we enjoyed our visit there. It was nice.
Wow. No, I'm glad we were able to do this.
I am now.
You don't feel so sick now, right? Everything's okay?
No. Oh, it was terrible. I was really bad. I wanted to come on air, but at the same time I didn't. But it was, yeah.
Well,
it's just
you did it.
Over that bit of nerves. I know.
You did it. If someone wants to get in touch with you, what is the best way to do that?
I've only really got my Twitter, which you know my name on Twitter. So whether I'm not really.
If you want to share your Twitter name, you
confident.
certainly can. I mean, but you don't have to. I just give all my in case any of our viewers or listeners would like to reach out to my guests, but you're certainly not obligated to do that at all.
I'm not ready at the moment, but I think if they want to get in touch with me on Twitter, then I'm happy for them to get the info off you at the time being until I'm confident.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. Fair enough.
And it's like with the Facebook site, they can go on and see that. But again, I don't run it. My sister runs it. Mm-hmm. So, but it's something that me and Mum do. But my sister runs it. She's the admin. She's the brains behind the organisation. And I think she's put a post up tonight. He was putting a post up today about the next event. So obviously it's this weekend we're out.
Can you give us the name of the Facebook page one more time?
It's Bear Hunt Hereford.
Bear Hereford.
Yeah, F-O-R-D.
Hereford. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a bear, I think, as the picture. I think it's got a bear.
Any final thoughts, any words, anything that you want to leave us? Because I'm mindful of our time and I'm going to let you go, but I want to give you the last word.
I just want to thank you for all you do for me. I know I talk a lot on our messages, so it's I think when you've not opened up and spoke to somebody in a long time, it's apart from your mum and your stepdad and those that, yeah, I think it's just having somebody outside of the family that believes in you and that understands and gives you support that you've never had before, and it's invaluable and it means a lot to me. So thank you.
You are very welcome. Thank you for coming on to LifeTalk. We appreciate you being here. Friends, that's it. Episode number 8 done. Take a deep breath.
Everything's started to get dark here. So
everything is good. I want to thank you all for joining us today. With any of these episodes, please feel free to share them if you want to. They will be posted out here. I will download this and also put this on my YouTube channel as well. And I invite you back next Thursday for another edition of LifeTalk. Shaz, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening there in England. We'll talk soon. Okay?
Thank you.
And thank you all for being here. God bless you. We'll see you soon.